Greetings, members, one and all of the Salivation Nation, with an article here from Coin World, brought to us by Donald in New Mexico. This is quite fascinating indeed. Rising precious metals prices bring more and new buyers to the bullion market. And I'm just surprised it's happening this soon in an immeasurable amount. Intermittent spikes in the spot price of gold have triggered the return of buyers of physical gold who've been sitting on the sidelines for recent weeks. I emphasize physical gold because my thought is this maybe there might be more of the ETFs or paper or electronic gold purchases, but nonetheless, this is referring to physical gold. Members of the Professional Numismatics Guild, accredited precious metals dealers, and others are reporting the return of long-time buyers and inquiries from new investors. In recent weeks, we have seen an increase in customers interested in buying bullion gold coins, says Jeff Garrett, president of the Mid-American Rare Coin Galleries in Lexington, Kentucky, and immediate past president of the American Numismatic Association. Most expressed concerns with the rising budget deficit as a primary reason for buying. I believe the recent pullback from the stock market has others considering alternative investments. Sales of rare coins has also been on the increase, and the biggest problem is finding new merchandise at current price levels. And some have reported, and I know I've seen this, but I've seen this for quite a while. My local coin shop really doesn't have much variety of new silver. And the silver they do receive, it typically flies off the shelf very quickly, or they have buyers for it before it's even acquired. So they don't even put it out for display. P&G President Barry Stupler says dealers are experiencing increased bullion activity with the rising gold price. In addition to the U.S. American Eagle and Canadian Maple Leaf bullion coins, some common date century-old U.S. gold coins are selling now for just a small fraction above their precious metal content. That's pre-33 gold. The same is true for some late 19th and early 20th century U.S. silver coins. There's an opportunity now to acquire these kind of coins at a low premium over melt value. Many of the dealers I've talked to believe that inflation will be coming back by June 2019, and that will drive more gold and silver buyers. Now, I'll pause right there because it's not very easy to find pre-33 gold for just over spot as it was maybe a year or two ago. Seems like some of those premiums are coming back to the pre-33 gold that I've seen anyway. And same thing with some of the early 19th and 20th century U.S. silver coins in decent grades anyway. But I have been able to find some, what's known as, quote, junk silver or constitutional silver for, pretty close to spot price. Many of the dealers, he's talking about how other dealers are noting by June 2019 that it will drive more gold and silver buyers and inflation. But however, there's some metrics that measure the value of the dollar, and it's lost 11% of its value and then some since 2016. So it just depends on which metric you're talking about. There's always inflation, it seems, in one form or another, but maybe he means it's coming back in by a broader spectrum of measures. Who knows? Mike Fulugens from Universal Coin and Bullion in Beaumont, Texas says activity in silver bullion is also up. My silver sales to new and existing customers were up dramatically in September, much like the U.S. Mint Silver Eagle sales for that month, says Fulugens. They remain strong. Driving forces for the rise include stock market volatility, global economic and political uncertainty, and concerns about the Democrats regaining a majority in the House of Representatives and all the repercussions that could bring. Our gold sales have remained about the same as we have derived new customers. New customers have increased due to the increased Silver Eagle response from ads. P&G Vice President Richard Weaver from Delaware Valley Rare Coins in Broomall, Pennsylvania says, we actually started seeing interest when gold was in the $1,180 to $1,200 range with the return of long-term buyers. We are seeing some new faces, but they're not making large quantity purchases. P&G past president Dana Samuelson from American Gold Exchange in Austin, Texas, believe the increase in activity is a result in drops in stock prices. While precious metals are firming up from their June-July skid to 2018 lows, the strong declines in stocks have been a bigger driver of public buying of gold, in my opinion, Samuelson said. Investors are clearly taking some stock profits as Wall Street volatility increased, and they're moving some of those profits to safer, more opportune areas, including gold and silver. Former P&G President Gary Atkins from Gary Atkins Associates Incorporated in Minneapolis called bullion activity a mixed bag with less buyers and sellers taking advantage of the higher price to liquidate. Until we see higher interest rates, that will be the case, Atkins said. Diane P. Rapinati of the Roman Incorporated in Kingston, Washington, says her customers' outlook for gold boils down to political party affiliation. My liberals don't think the economy as it is can be sustained and metals will go up, she says. My conservatives think we are in a great economy and it can be sustained through the Trump term. Thus, metals will go down. So it's a mixed bag of results there. I didn't see anything in here, unless I missed it, about tariffs. But I think that should be noted as well as a concern, until we get some of these trade deals worked out and understand what's going on in those trade deals. We might see some growing pains, no matter how you feel about tariffs and the trade situation, before things normalize there. That could have an effect as well. But very fascinating indeed, fascinating article, and interesting. And it just goes to show you, and I've mentioned this in the past, and that people tend to buy when it's going up and sell when it's going down. It's the fear of losing out one way or the other, and FOMO, fear of missing out. I think that drives people to buy high and sell low, and it's kind of a shame that that's the case, because really, if people really understood what's going on with gold and silver, and it took me a while. It's a different dynamic of thinking when it comes to gold and silver, because don't look at them as investments. That's the wrong way to look at gold and silver. Yes, you can make money on them if you buy it low and it goes way high. I've noted that, or I've bought an ounce of silver for $4, and now I could sell it for $15. But the problem is that the $4 that I spent, years and years ago for that ounce of silver won't be able to buy me. Probably wouldn't even be able to buy me $14, $15 worth today. In some areas, in some instances, other instances fine. But investment should be looked at in the sense of is it making you money, actual money? Is it going up and beyond, or is it losing you actual money over the time, as far as the real dollars adjusted for inflation and the like? And is it paying dividends, or investments I think of as more speculative, although there can be some ways to be able to measure that, given track records of certain stocks and bonds and the like. But nonetheless, they're really not backed by anything other than that trust. Whereas precious metals, their purpose, it's what their purpose is. It's a preserver of wealth as money. Both gold and silver are money, and that's the thing to consider there. But nonetheless, it's interesting to see by this article, to see how there's a lot of new buyers as the prices are going up. That's actually good that it's happening this soon. I wasn't expecting it to happen this soon. But nonetheless, it's something that I think that if we see prices go up to the levels there were before when it was stagnant, we're going to see a lot more buyers come into the fray. New buyers and prior buyers who have paused purchasing because of the stagnant precious metals markets. But nonetheless, it is what it is. We shall see how it plays out from here. We'll see what happens after the elections. We'll see what happens with these trade deals. We'll see what happens with the stock markets, and we'll just hold on to our precious metals and buy as we can afford. I'd like to extend a multitude of gratitude to you all for watching and encourage you to please rate, comment, and subscribe.